Diversity has come a long way in video games, especially in the sci-fi genre. In the early decades of gaming, most black characters were in sports games or other stereotypical roles. These days, there are many complex characters of color with memorable personalities, fleshed out backstories, and relatable aspirations. Welcome to the multicultural sci-fi organization, MCSFO. Today, we'll look at our picks for the top 10 characters of color in sci-fi video games. For this list, we'll be counting down through some of the most iconic characters of color from the past 10 years of the genre. Keep in mind, there are spoilers ahead in this video. Number 10. Seer, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. As a former Jedi herself, Seer acts as a mentor to the young Cal Kestis in this recent Star Wars title. Set in the years following the Jedi eradication during Order 66, the two must train in secret as the Galactic Empire seeks to hunt down and exterminate every last member of the Jedi Order. While Seer has become disconnected from the Force in this game, a 5-part comic series called Jedi Fallen Order Dark Temple centers around her days as a Padawan being taught by Jedi Master Eno Cordova. Her devotion to restoring the Jedi Order makes her one of the galaxy's most admired figures in the Rebellion. Seer is actually not the first black woman from the Jedi Order. The first was a background character from the prequel trilogy named Adi Gallia, but it's nice to finally see a black woman at the forefront of a Star Wars story. Number 9. Nessa, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Don't underestimate her soft tone. Nessa is a tall, lean, strategic gym leader and powerful water type that can take down the fiercest opponent. Commanding the gym in the town of Holberry, Nessa is one of the toughest challenges for players striving to become champion of the Galar region. That's mostly because her strongest Pokemon is a ferocious Dreadnought that becomes even more formidable when it enters its Gigantamax form. Since the Galar region is based on Great Britain, it makes sense that the water-type gym leader would have a name referencing the country's most famous creature of lore, the Loch Ness Monster. With powerful aquatic beasts on her team, Nessa lives up to the fierce nature of her namesake. Number 8. Lifeline, Apex Legends. You've lost a gunfight in a round of Apex Legends and your character is barely clinging to life. Needless to say, you're pretty disappointed. That is, until you spot Lifeline coming your way, the most prolific healing character in the Apex universe. Apex Legends is a team-oriented battle royale game, so it makes sense why Lifeline is such an important legend to have on your squad. Few things are more satisfying than being revived by your teammate and given a second chance. And no one in the Outlands does that better than the combat medic. Born into a family of esteemed war profiteers, Lifeline grew disheartened about how much destruction her family has caused. Turning away from the family legacy, she's devoted her life to helping others on the battlefield. She's different from the plenty of aggressive, two-dimensional characters often found in the first-person shooter genre, which makes her spot on the list all the more deserved. Number 7. Riley Abel, The Last of Us, Left Behind. One of the best DLCs ever made has also given us one of gaming's finest romances, with Riley and the star of the main game, Ellie. The Last of Us Left Behind is set a few weeks before the events of the main game, where the two girls stay inside an abandoned mall in a zombie-filled world. Riley's a member of the LGBTQ+ community, another demographic that's seen more and more representation in video games lately. One of the most tender moments of the whole series comes when Ellie sneaks in a kiss with Riley. While Left Behind may only be about 2 hours in length, its heartfelt story sticks with you long after you put down your controller. Number 6. Alex Vance, HalfLife Alyx. One of the earliest examples of awesome characters of color in video games, Alex Vance made her return to gaming in this year's continuation of the beloved Half-Life series. This time, players strap on a virtual reality headset to embody Vance in a story set between the first two games, journeying through City 17 to uncover the mystery behind a superweapon. After witnessing her versatility as both a hacker and a fighter in the original Half-Life games, it's a treat for fans to step into the shoes of this awesome heroine. While it's only been out since March, Half-Life Alyx has already received overwhelming praise from players and critics. Its staggering 93 Metacritic score is one of the highest in VR game existence. While it may not be the Half-Life 3 fans have been clamoring for ages, they've been more than happy to step into the shoes of the adored Resistance member. Number 5. Lucio Overwatch. While traditional first-person shooters rely on firearms, many Overwatch characters have their own unique ways to fight. Lucio is a DJ from Brazil, a country that hosts plenty of EDM festivals every year. Channeling the country's famous sound scene, he uses the powers of electronic music to heal and speed boost his teammates. Overwatch pits two teams of 6 against each other in a futuristic first-person shooter where players have objectives like transporting a payload or capturing a point zone. Characters like Lucio are in the support class, meaning his playstyle is built around aiding teammates. While the game has seen numerous balance changes as new characters enter the roster, this musician has consistently been one of the most reliable choices. To introduce the character prior to Overwatch's release, Blizzard Entertainment released Synesthesia Auditiva, Lucio's debut album. 2 songs from the record play whenever he uses his abilities in battle. Not too many video game characters get to say they have their very own discography. Number 4. Lee Everett, The Walking Dead. Before 2010, most black male characters in video games were primarily portrayed as large, angry alpha males with giant guns and an attitude. Going against the grain, which was so refreshing to see, we meet the compassionate Lee Everett in Telltale's critically acclaimed The Walking Dead. Based in the universe from Robert Kirkman's comic books, The Walking Dead is an interactive film game where players choose how Lee acts with his peers. The story revolves around Everett's relationship with a little girl named Clementine as he tries to transport her safely across Georgia so she can regroup with her parents. Lee is voiced by Dave Fennoy, who's become one of the most prolific voice actors in gaming thanks to roles in StarCraft and Batman games, to name a few. His first voice role, however, was actually as the manager of New Kids on the Block in their short-lived animated series. He's proven to be one flexible voice actor. Number 3. Bangalore, Apex Legends. An agile move set full of smoke grenades and her double time ability make Bangalore quite an evasive character from the free-to-play Apex Legends. One can't help but feel like they're the star of an action movie whenever they play as this soldier. There's a tremendous shot of adrenaline that comes with playing as Bangalore, a character who sparks even more energy into Outland's already fast-paced environment. Like Overwatch, characters in Respawn Entertainment's Battle Royale Apex Legends have floated around tier lists thanks to balance changes here and there, but Bangalore has always stayed as one of the game's best legends. Her voice actress, Erica Luttrell, is no stranger to science fiction either. She also appeared in one of MCSFO's favorite TV shows, Westworld. Number 2. Bayek of Siwa, Assassin's Creed Origins. The Assassin's Creed franchise has visited plenty of historical eras throughout its run, so fans had to know it was only a matter of time before the Animus ventured to ancient Egypt. Players use the mummified body of a Magi named Bayek to travel back in time to the Age of Pharaohs for Assassin's Creed Origins, a prequel that explores the beginnings of the Assassin Brotherhood. There's no one better to explore the bustling gladiator arenas, vast deserts, and mysterious tombs than with Bayek, one of Assassin's Creed's most memorable protagonists. Bayek can visit the city of Alexandria or the Great Pyramids in this title, but perhaps the most intriguing spot is the secret chamber hidden underneath the Great Sphinx. Good thing Bayek is a terrific explorer. Before we share a top pick, take a look at some honorable mentions. Number 1. Clementine, The Walking Dead series. Everyone knows growing up isn't easy, especially when you're doing it in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Over the course of 4 games in Telltale's acclaimed franchise, we've witnessed Clementine grow from an innocent little girl to an independent teenager looking after herself in a fractured world. Her journey is thoroughly explored thanks to a number of grueling choices players need to make thanks to Telltale's signature choose-your-own-adventure style of gameplay. Despite being only 9 years old in the original Walking Dead game, Clementine was voiced by Melissa Hutchison, who was 36 at the time. It's worth noting that Hutchison is a white actress, so while this list shows how things have improved in video game representation, the industry still has some steps to take towards inclusion of people of color. In summer 2020, white actors like Kristen Bell and Jenny Slate announced they'd be stepping down from voicing characters of color in animated TV shows, so underrepresented actors could play them. Here's to hoping video games can follow suit in 2021 and beyond. What do you think of our list? Do you agree? Who makes your list of great black characters in current sci-fi games? What are your thoughts on controversies of white actors voicing characters of color? For more videos on some of the greatest top 10 lists in the world of science fiction, be sure to subscribe to MCSFO and turn on all notification alerts.